Today we're going to be painting some peonies. A friend of mine on Instagram recommended that I post a slowed down version, so I promised to do that with you guys today. It's going to be looking something similar to these. So you'll see there are a lot of petals in the center, and there are a lot of big, like, fluffy little petals over here on the side. And then, of course, we have our green petals that kind of are usually this shape, like they're these long oval types of petals, pointy ends, and they often droop. So we're going to show that as well and kind of how I do that. So let's get started. I'm just going to get my water here, and I want to go in as not super light, but I want to go in light enough that it feels pretty watery. So I think I'm just going to lean into this actual form. So I'm going to start with this bloom here. And I'm just going to go ahead and make it watery and just add a little bit of pigment here. This gives me some luxury later on, just a little bit, of adding in darker values and lighter values and playing with that as I go. So usually what I do is I start with one big kind of oval petal, and then I start making some side petals. And my side petals are usually in the shape of commas. So the brush I'm using today is a petal brush. It's an oval petal brush. If you hear my kids in the background, they're hanging out with their dad, leaving me be so I can get some painting on over here. And you can kind of see I'm just making these commas around that center petal here. Trying to add a little bit more pigment on the bottom and tips. And then what I'm going to do with my commas is I'm not going to have them all come off the bottom. I will in a minute. I'll come back to that in a minute. But what I want to do also is have them kind of come off the side where it looks like they're kind of getting a little clustered near the top, kind of like that. And then at the top, I'm going to make this kind of like bubble. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to play kind of like you would with the rose, with curls and shapes and straight edges to show all of the possible petals. Add a few more here. And then I'll go back in here and add some more as well. Kind of like that. And as I said, this is not gonna, I'm gonna model it after this, but it's never gonna be exactly the same, at least not for me. That's not what I'm very good at. I'm very instinctual painter, not a technical one. And so what I'm doing now is I'm making drooping leaves or petals, because these petals are so many and they're so heavy that they're quick to fall off the main bloom, kind of like that. Okay. And I can leave this then. I can add a little bit more volume to it by just adding water. Maybe a little more volume there, kind of like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go in for this one right here. We're going to get a front view, this is more of the profile. This is more of the front. Now, rather than make some sharp curves, I'm going to make, I don't even know what I would call them. I'm going to make these like C shapes for the center. And then I'm going to make some sharp ones because these petals are funny. They're super overlappy. Not that overlappy is a word per se, but it's kind of the vibe they give. I'm just going to add some water and have it touch some of these petals that I already put down. And then I'm going to go back in and add a bit more pigment on the outside. And I'm going to make some lines here so that it looks like there's lots, I should say curvy lines, right? To show that there's lots of petals in this bulb, this flower. And then I'm just going to go back in. So I put in pigment in the middle, water, pigment again, and then I'm going water. And I'm just going around the outside and picking up when I can the pigment that I already laid down. And then I'm going to go back in here and just add a little bit. So if I don't think it's enough, you can still see it. And there are going to be spots that are going to be darker than others. And if I don't think it's dark enough, I'm going to put it in myself. So I want it to be a little darker here. The colors I'm using right now, this is actually quinacridone rose. This one is a handmade paint by Masha's Watercolor. And all of these paints that I have in front of me are Masha's Watercolor. This one I did in Potter's Pink. And then I had Serpent Green and Shadow Green. That's what I have over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make another bulb up here. And I'm going to go in Super Wet. So I don't use pans enough. I'll admit that. I just don't like, not pans, that's the wrong word. I don't use palettes enough. Sometimes it feels a little bit lazy on my part. I know that. But I just don't always have the time to pull it out, clean it, make sure I have the colors that I want. So sometimes I just go right into the pan. And so what I'll often do is I'll get my brush wet, add a teeny tiny bit of paint on it, and then go on the paper. And then as long as I go in light enough, I can add in more later. A little bit more here. Like that. Okay. And then because this is another profile one, I just added a few like bubbles on the top to kind of give them that petal vibe. And then maybe a few more down here because it's going to be darker closer to the stem. Okay, so we've got 3 main peonies. I might add another one here, but it's going to be barely a peony because it's well, it's going to be a peony, but you're just not going to see. Try to debate where I should put it. Maybe here. Just want that. I know, you're like, what? Well, it's because it's going to be in its bulb. So I'm going to paint around it like it's an unbloomed little bulb or bud. I often find in my own garden when my peonies grow, they all grow in clumps together. And you'll often see these little round bulbs. And then ants love them, actually. So we'll often see ants hanging out in the center of the bulb before it's even started popping yet, because they love the sweetness of the nectar in the petals, which I would have never known if I didn't have these growing myself. I hope you're enjoying my children in the background. I think they're playing with puppets, actually. Okay. I feel like I'm going to come back in here in a little bit, maybe do a little bit more, but we'll just leave it right now because I feel like I'm overdoing it. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to go in and start doing petals. So petals come in clusters and bunches. They all come from a center part here or over here or over here. You can see they all kind of form underneath the bud. So I'm going to do that as well. And then notice they all kind of come to a point in the stem. So at the stem, I'm going to start by just pushing the belly of my brush and then lifting. And then maybe a side angle here. I'll have this tip down this way, like that. And then again. And you can make these thin or thick. It's really up to you. But they do like to droop. They don't stick up. They usually go down because they're so heavy and long. These guys also like to hang out underneath the actual bulb. So you're gonna see some bleeding here, which is fine. And then under here for sure. And because I made these petals so big, I'm gonna sneak some of these leaves underneath in those spots. And then this one you're not gonna be able to see so well because this is such a profile, or not a profile, it's such a face-on flower that I don't really feel the need to do too much here. Maybe like it's sticking out from behind like that. And then what I could do is if I curl this down long enough, I could add another one. Like I could add another branch, like there's another group coming out. Like that, kind of like I did over here a little bit, but on this side. Like this. And then here, I'm just gonna make that a little bit darker. Okay. And then last but not least, I'm going to go in with a few more pigmented bits just to give it some dimension. So I'm going to go in with my dark shadow green. I'm going to add it. I don't need this to be super dry, but I also go in very much dry wet on the paper to begin with. So it's not super wet usually when I lay down. I like a little bit of wet, but not too much. And I'm adding pigment to the places where I feel like there's gonna be shadows. Definitely down here, like that, and here. And then if I just wanna add like some line work over the lighter tones, that's fine too. Okay, like that. I'm feeling good about that. I'm gonna add some more leaves here, kind of like this. And then I think we'll finish up by adding in a few more of that quinacridone rose. I'm debating if I should do quin violet. Let me see, maybe let's do quin magenta. Okay, so we'll do quinacridone magenta in just some of the areas that I think there might be some shadow. Maybe a little bit more, and it'll just add a little bit of purple to my colors here. And there's always that line, like what's too much? What do I really like? I love this. This is so white, but I don't want it to be not able to be seen, if that makes sense. So I'm just adding a little bit there just to bring some attention to it. And then here, kind of like that. And then I'm just adding it to one side, like maybe over here, maybe a little bit in here, down in here. So closer to the bottom and one side is my intention here. Like that. And I think I'm almost finished. A couple of darker spots here, here and here, maybe around the side. Okay, and I think I'm done. And I think I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm not gonna add any extra media to this. I like it just the way it is. I love the color. I actually like it more than this one. I do love the purple pinks in here. So again, I used quin magenta and quin rose. So the magenta was more of a purpley color and the rose was more of a pink reddish color. And then my greens, this was serpent green and this one was shadow green. If you're ever gonna get a green, I highly recommend Masha's. Her greens are incredible. You can already see as it's drying, you could see just the granulation on that. And then my paper that I'm using, Potentate watercolor pad, 100% cotton watercolor paper. I love it, I'm a huge fan. This will dry. If it dries lighter than you want, then go back in with a few more layers. That's kind of what that's all about. So cool, I'm so glad you came, and make sure to follow me for more. Again, I will try and keep this YouTube page a little bit more regular and post more videos. I'm trying to get weekly, but editing is hard. So, all right, friends, I will see you soon. And thanks again for following. Make sure to share and like if you love this one so much. And of course, if you go on a social media, make sure to tag me because I love seeing the work that you do that's inspired by the work I do here. Okay, cool. Bye, everybody.